To be fair,
Recording.
though,
You do the furry
Lucario,
bait first.
which I don't get, because Lucario is just badass. Like, you don't have to go full fur with Lucario.
No. Plus, Lucario kind of looks like he's wearing pants when, you know.
Right? Oh, shipyard's over here. Right?
I'm recording, by the way. Just letting you know.
Just
Sorry, once.
playthrough.
Oh yeah, we're getting their ships.
Talk to transporter chief, beam to shipyard. There we go.
Yeah, like, I remember, I think the worst Resident Evil that was ever made, but it's also one of my favorites, was probably Survivor, Resident Evil Survivor for the PS2. It's like a whole first-person only aspect where you turn very slowly, and by the time you ever see the enemy, you're dead.
I think I have that game in part of the Resident Evil 4-pack I've got.
It's not that great, Mom.
I really don't like the controls for Resident Evil, especially the previous ones. I
Yeah.
don't know so much about the newer ones these days. I haven't played them in ages. But they said they designed the controls to make you feel helpless. But I just feel like a lot of the time they just had someone who didn't know how to program control.
Yeah, same here.
Because it wasn't satisfying to play the games. It was frustrating most of the time.
What? You feel helpless when playing the game. Okay, but up is still up. You guys realize this, right?
Yeah.
Like, I
This-
think the one that I had a pretty egregious problem with was Zero.
I never played Zero. That was kind of shocking. Sorry.
Oh, that's why that thing's so useful. I'm looking at the Katonko battle cruiser. I'm like, man, that thing's rather beefy. Oh, that's why it's so beefy. It's got a base turn slot of why bother.
I think the one I hated the most out of all the Resident Evils was was 2. Was not my favorite.
I could get that.
A lot of people kind of gonna be biased about that, but like, because 2 is like really popular with a lot of people that were in the franchise, but 2 is just, it was not my favorite.
I totally get that. Okay, so the battle cruiser is the tank, the bird of prey is your DPS,
And
your-
Raptor's the science officer?
looks it. As close to Klingon science officer as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I forgot. Klingons don't really do science.
No, they do not. They just smash things like Hulk smash.
Well, and it's kind of sad too, because like Klingon lore is kind of interesting. So they achieved warp travel before the 1960s. Like the Klingons species achieved warp before humanity ever visited the moon. There's just one trade-off with that.
What's that?
Because of Klingon culture, they didn't break warp 6 until humanity had broken warp 5. So we went through, at least in Star Trek canon, World War III, a couple of extra despots, an entire subsection of ruling by horrible drug-induced brutality. Almost wiped each other off the face of the earth. Eventually found some sort of peace after Cochrane said, screw this, I'm out. And a bunch of Vulcans went, huh. They strapped a giant rocket to their ass and they went faster than the speed of light. It's an insane little species. We should go see what they're doing before they kill everyone. Because that's kind of what started it. I mean, like, Vulcan, I don't remember if, no, Vulcans use the singularity too, like Romulans. It's like, what's your engine's powered? As quantum singularity? So your engine's a black hole. A micro one.
I'm caught between like buying either the bird of prey or the Raptor.
I'm kind of torn between the bird of prey and the battle cruiser. Because the bird of prey looks like it could be very, very fun, but it looks like, based on the ship's stats and everything, that it's very much one of those, you have to be on your, like, there is no stop with that ship, it looks like.
No. The Raptor, I like the fact the bird of prey though has like a raider flanking.
Yeah.
I think that's the rogue ship, pretty much like WoW equivalent rogue ship.
pretty much. Hey, love.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. I
Right.
think so too.
Morning.
Morning, nice.
Morning.
I mean, you could slot any crew you want there, so it's not 2 engineering or 1 engineering, 2 tactical, 1 science.
I think I'll go with the Raptor.
You're gonna go with the Raptor?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess the actual question would be easier answer this.
I feel like I should name the Klingon ship Aladufo Mars.
There you go. Yeah, I think I will go with the as much as I like the battlecruiser and as tanky as it looks, if it's 2 4 and 2 half.
Okay. Ooh, fancy. If I'm gonna have to pay money to like make my ship look cool, I'm just gonna go with the classic. So I went with B-Rail.
Okay. Burrell's a fun one.
All the cool stuff looks like you. Oh no, it's not all paint.
Oh, you want to know something kind of fun?
What's up?
I actually have a die-cast Burrell sitting behind me.
The ship?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Used to collect a bunch of the old ships. Okay, and then we go manage. And we're gonna ready up this ship.
I still like the fact you 3D print the ships.
Right? Like, that part's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I said ready up this starship, not look at me, Blakely.
I
God, the game.
hope the game's not as glitchy as it was yesterday. That was not good.
And unequipping my entire inventory? That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I just labeled the video like glitches with old man stitches.
Right?
There used to be a thing on YouTube.
Mm.
It had like Diablo Deckard Cain saying like glitches with old man stitches.
Gosh.
It's kind of funny.
Well, for some reason, it's not equipping my deflector at all.
Oh, I gotta equip my ship. Damn. Thanks for reminding me.
No worries. Yeah, I was looking at it and like, this is oddly a lot like the ship we were just flying. Oh yeah, because it is the ship we were just flying. We're
Yeah.
ready up the new one.
Yeah.
The one that looks like it exploded with snow. Okay.
You know, I just realized something would be cool.
Huh.
For I don't think they're gonna do it, but for like this year's Christmas, not next year's, whatever.
Mhm.
They should allow you to have perfect like universal trails for your ship. Like you can have snowflakes or something like that.
Oh, that would be nifty to do.
Yeah, be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready when you are.
Righto, I'm just equipping a couple of toys I picked up earlier, because it would be nice to have something other than the dinky sword. Like, I like the sword, but the sword is not something you go into combat with.
No, they got guns.
Which still just makes me laugh about the Klingons.
Yeah.
We're gonna go charging into battle. With what? Our swords! Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, a few thousands of them might make it to the person that's shooting at them, the people that are shooting at them.
Kind of the entire way of Klingon warfare. We're just going to swarm you and hope you die.
Yeah.
Which is always fun, isn't it?
Maybe after not being shot at so much, yeah.
Okay. There's that weapon for you. And you have to go through and upgrade all of your crew.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. They should have like a. They originally had like a auto equip all the best in slot kind of stuff.
Mm.
I know they're one of their games that owns the company that owns these games. I think it's Neverwinter, but I could be wrong. They have a feature where you can just do that.
That would be nice.
I'm guessing if they did it on here, they'd have to reinvent the whole game or something. Or like do a massive updating.
Probably just a few things.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can trade that to you, but I'm certainly going to try.
You talking about me or?
Yeah, I picked up a science item thingy. Ah, trade, here we go.
Hold on. Okay, we're good.
And click to drag item. There we go.
Thanks, Mom.
Figure that's a solid, a solid item, and it drops shields. So, since you're a science officer, useful for your tactical or for your kit.
You have to confirm it, I think. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah. You bet. Okay. Now, up to our ships and Mars bringer aboard.
I'm still equipping stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I am going to check what my bridge looks like.
Okay.
That is one of the things I do kind of like about this game. You just, I need to AFK and do something. What are you going to do? Wander around inside my own on my bridge. That'll work.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was.
Oh.
I kind of want to go into my ship, but I don't know how.
The drop-down menu underneath the question mark. Visit Starship Bridge. And all the different ships have different bridges, but you can customize specific bridges on the ship manager thing, like when you're changing up your hull.
My bridge looks very basic. It's not as big as the other one.
Yeah, Klingons are kind of
Cramped.
minimalistic.
Yeah.
Apparently my science officer is Orion and most of my crew is female. Cool!
My character, when he runs, I just realized looks like he's jogging like really, really like... I don't know how to explain it. It's just really silly.
Yeah, the wire hangers they put the model on is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Seems like something I would animate.
What on earth is this thing out here? How you know you belong in Starfleet rather than any other group?
Oh, we have an
Giant
account
cloud
bank.
hanging. Huh?
We have an account bank.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
You have an account bank that you can access in your bridge, and with the little one item we got from one of the tutorial missions where we saved the one freighter, you can summon that in your ship every couple hours, and they will do mail, personal like tune account, and account bank. So you can put things on specific characters rather than across all of them.
Okay. Alright, I'm hopping out.
No worries. Just looking at the giant space cloud floating in over here. Just like gonna fly through it, and it did. Everybody alive? Yeah, nothing to worry about. Yeah, we're fine. Moving on.
Okay.
If it didn't kill you, it's an opportunity to learn. And do you want to transwarp there or auto navigate?
Let's transwarp.
Okay.
Which one are we going to?
Mars Bringer of War.
Ready to begin, Mom?
Yep.
Okay.
That was one thing I'll admit that always made me laugh about Star Trek. There were so many Roman references. A lot of Greek ones too, but mostly Roman. Oh. Are we going to have a DC?
I might.
Well, if you're loading slow too, then it might just be one of those taking a minute files. I think you have to have a lot of love for Star Trek for a bit of the forgiveness of some of the errors in this game.
Yes.
Though I will admit, the cutscenes that don't render your character entirely can both be funny and horrifying.
Hail from the station's commander.
Oh, I loaded in, which kind of makes me think you're going to probably DC.
Yep, just did. Connection to the server timed out. Hit the login button because CA Steam.
Yay.
And normal login.
I was tempted to install Fallout 76, by the way, yesterday.
Oh?
I don't think it's worth it.
I have not heard a ton of good about it, but I may be getting it confused with Fallout 4.
No, Fallout 4's good.
Well, isn't one of them a remake of another that was just ghastly?
That's 76, I think.
Oh, okay.
Good. Bah.
Oh, that reminds me. There
Let
was a
them
mod.
whine like newborn
recently.
tarts. I
What's the
have
mod?
one answer for them.
Fallout London.
Glorious battle.
It's basically an
Join
entire
the
game
fight,
put
and we
into
can
4,
litter the stars
apparently.
with the wreckage of their
understanding.
ships.
That sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's probably been in development mod-wise for quite a while.
I know one of the mods for New Vegas were like pretty big, but I haven't played Vegas either.
I mean, they added New Vegas into 4 as well.
Oh, jeez. I gotta try it.
This thing is ridiculous. I like it. Scatter volley on the cannons and a spread of torpedo fire makes these mass groups just poof by.
Oh crap, I effed up.
Uh-oh.
What ship did you get?
The first one on the list?
Bird of Prey?
Yeah.
Nice.
I go for the flank often enough when using the Klingon ships that it made more sense.
Probably shouldn't get too close to the ships when they explode.
Right. Well, fortunately, Federation ships only use the standard workhorse, so they don't go off like Romulan and Vulcan ships do with all singularity pulling everything and then sending everybody flying.
Yeah.
Well done. The Starfleet vessel is dead in space. Good.
Damn.
They are disabled and at our mercy. Now is the time to strike. Let us board the vessel and seize anything useful while we can. I hope you are ready for a
Hey,
fight.
not an empire. Bunch of cons. We've disabled them. Do a boarding party! I did not realize we were intergalactic pirates. Makes so much more sense why the Orion's incorporated.
Only
Yeah.
makes me want rum.
Makes
Space rum.
me wonder what the Klingon equivalent of scurvy is.
Oh god, I don't even want to know.
Hey, that's why they drink so much blood wine. Klingons are literally just space pirates.
Makes sense. I mean, if you think about it. I wonder why these are taking so long to load.
I don't know. Looks like it's patching files on my end.
Yeah. Oh, we're being shot at already.
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of makes sense. And of course it did.
It's
Screw
doing
me.
it again.
Yep, I have no weapons.
I don't know what's going on.
Don't know. Have sword.
Ugh. Oh, you got a big gun, don't you, buddy?
I mean, he is the captain.
That's true.
See
Ow.
what the human knows while I search their computer for intel.
You want to interrogate him?
Why don't you, since you're doing the streaming, that way I can equip all of my gear with the game.
Okay.
If you're going to kill me, get it over with. If you're... What's the Klingon saying? Better to die on our feet than live on...
He's stalling, buying time for his security teams to storm the bridge.
I will say I'm very much happier on YouTube than I am on Twitch.
Definitely a good thing.
Yeah. Ah.
Oh, it's one of those items. Okay.
Oh, behind us.
Why does things do this?
I see dead people.
Alright. Oh, wait. We need to access the Iconian files before we leave.
My invasion of their computer systems has been... My invasion...
Where is it? Do you know?
No, I know, but that's what I'm going to keep...
Found it. Over by me.
Oh, nice, okay. In here rather than in the conference room.
Yeah.
It's an interesting fish.
Huh. I think it's dead.
Oh, too. I'm just starting to wonder if a fish tank is part of the auto thing built in, or with all the different races in Star Trek, if that's like an ensign that works as his private secretary. Well, whales and dolphins are technically members of the Federation, and they are crew. In fact, the Enterprise D has a section in it just for whale and dolphin crew members. So,
I can believe that, considering all the species that's kind of united with the Federation and stuff.
well, the funny part is the whales are actually the ones from Earth that joined the Federation.
Huh.
I know, spoilers for the fourth movie.
No worries. Did you get it?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Alright, let's beam up. Doo-doo-doo.
My invasion of the... Indeed.
Just leave the doggy on the ship.
Alright.
The Star
He's fine.
too heavily
Continue
damaged to be
seeking
of
a
any more
path
use
forward.
to the
Okay.
Empire. Your orders? Do you wish to scuttle it, or leave its warriors to fend for themselves?
Please tell me it. Okay. Alright.
Open. Okay, never mind. That works.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave them to their fate. They fought well.
I suggest we contact the High Council and discuss very well.
You have done well today, warriors. Such boldness should be rewarded. Though an assault on Earth would be glorious, I believe there is a greater chance for success in attacking a critical Federation war asset, the Utopia Planitia shipyards. Utopia Planitia is Starfleet's main ship repair, and you must act quickly. It will not be long before Starfleet learns of your success and what you have taken from them.
We should approach the starbase. Some of the warriors there may wish to join us in battle once more.
You ready?
Yep, off to recruit this raiders here.
It is an honor to heed your call to battle. We answer it gladly. Soon, Starfleet will pay the price for defying the immortal Empire. It will be glorious!
Didn't think I'd see a Lecipian with that much
All ships have
battle
reported
hungerness.
in.
Usually they're
They are
spies
ready
and
for
rogues,
combat.
mind
We
readers, stuff like
lead
that.
for battle at your command.
Like, that's the one thing that would make the Klingon truly terrifying, if it used its assets properly. Because Lecipians can read minds and put people into catatonic states, and the Lecipians are most of their information gathering resource.
I want to see like a Vulcan and those like fight each other.
Lecipian wins.
Uh,
He tases the Vulcan and then reads his mind. The Vulcans are stronger telepaths. They just aren't electric.
okay, I see.
It's like grabbing a hold of an electric eel and then having it probe your brain.
Yeah.
Oh.
So eels kind of creep me out.
They're pretty tasty.
I can't argue with that. Used to have eel rolls at Ichiban. It's very good.
There it is. Mars.
It's
A
about.
harsh,
Yes.
scarred world. The humans named it well. We won't have time to destroy the
I'm
main
a fan of the
shipyard,
wasabi butter
but
salmon
we can
myself.
do considerable damage
Ooh,
to their
that
repair
sounds good.
facilities. We will also need to disable local communications. I can use the command codes we seized in battle to achieve this, but we must do it quickly. Wait too long.
I usually go for the crawdad shrimp, not shrimp, but crawdad roll.
I know those are cities down below us.
Oh, I never even noticed that. That's really cool.
Right? Yeah, those are all the different cities of Mars that kind of became inhabited, and rather than terraform the entire planet, they just upgraded those. Yeah, everything like afternoon delight. Probably should have done this cloak.
Can say one thing that's good today.
Hmm.
The tubing doesn't hurt as much today.
Well, that's definitely good to hear.
Yeah. And I'm not sick anymore, I think, hopefully.
Also a woot.
Yeah.
Totally should have disabled the satellite while stealthed.
You actually do that? Cool.
That's kind of why the Federation agreed to what it did about cloaking devices, because it was basically, you guys don't get to build a cloaking device. Okay. Oh no, whatever will we do? So they went to the nines with their sensors and their shields. That's why the Federation is so incredibly broken. Their shield materials are so strong that they rotate between EM field as well as, like, they have basic shielding against kinetics, energy, like all four primary forms of attack in space. Federation shields are designed to fight against. Because their thought was, hey, if we don't get to build the really cool tech, like making ourselves invisible, and then of course Section 31 that...
This is Utopia Planitia Control. All ships, scramble for defense.
Uh-oh. Time to go.
Starfleet is powering up its ships. Destroy as many as possible while they are docked.
I mean, it's... Of course, there is one thing that humans decided to do the making building side of, and it just makes me laugh at how insane humans are. The episode when they decide, okay, so we're not allowed to make cloaking shields, right? Yeah. They never said we can't make metaphasic shields. You're telling me you're not going to go invisible, you're just going to fade out of space-time? Yeah! Oh, I fucking hate you, Stuart. Let's try it.
I mean, let's be honest. That's kind of a lot of the human race. Well, you didn't say this specifically.
Yep.
Yep. I kind of tend to do that.
Right? I swear it's the only reason that the Ferengi get along with the Federation in any way, shape, or form. They went, okay, altruistic humans. We don't understand those. The contract didn't technically... We found our people. We'll be over there. Not technically against the law. See, I have the law right in front of me.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Well, I mean, a prime example.
Correct.
Oh, what?
Kind of correct.
I mean, licenses are a perfect example. strictly speaking, you don't need a license to drive a car in this country because you are not doing what requires commerce. You are operating a motor vehicle. So you don't technically need a license because operating a personal conveyance does not require one. So if you really did want to argue in a court of law, you could in this country. It would be an incredibly uphill, pointless battle, but you could totally argue it. And you would actually win in the end.
Yeah.
Well, depending on the state you're in.
You spend more resources than it's worth. That's why people don't do it.
Yeah. Definitely more resources.
You usually win that, but at the same time, it's gonna be like a few years to get out of a ticket that's gonna be like a couple $100, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's like the guy who goes into court dressed up in a kangaroo suit. And it's like, why are you doing this? To win? To make a point. You don't do anything like this to win. You don't do it for the money. You don't do it for any other thing than to stand on top of the pile of ashes and go, see, I was right. And the fact that he actually goes to court in a giant kangaroo suit, I just... Oh.
It's like to court for furries, pretty much.
We are receiving communications that the Third Fleet arrived shortly after. You know me well. Starfleet has been disrupted. Their focus will be indeed. The nearest Federation holding facility is in the Gamma Oak. As I suspected, Starfleet is still in disarray from our attack on Mars. The advantage is ours. We must swiftly disable the security measures around the station, so we...
Okay. I just realized I have not eaten today yet, and I should probably do that, but I gotta find something to eat. I have no idea what I have. Minor details.
We'll probably find something to eat after we finish doing these episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness, it kept all my compass. Probably should have checked that before I went into combat.
Same you, in a way. It's all good.
The facility is sending a distress signal. I will try to jam it. Keep working.
Got one.
Right.
More Starfleet ships. Eliminate them.
You know, I always thought the sudden burst of movement in the Deep Space Nine episodes from a couple of the smaller fighters when they just, the frigate-sized things that were the size of the Defiant, it's just like, that's ridiculous movement. And then I play with the evasive maneuvers level 2 and a pack pattern level 2, and the ship moves like, like, oh yeah, right, it's space. Movement in every direction is possible and viable. And I don't get me wrong.
Much less friction.
Yeah, well, and I understand, don't get me wrong, I really do understand why it's nigh impossible to program in a game that, I mean, actual space physics. Because at that point, you're not dealing with a set static anything, you're dealing with equation involving masses, and that's so much more data that any video game really wants to put in, so I get it.
You'd think that there's a few that are working on it.
I know, and I'm so happy for it. I really hope they do well.
Oh, God, that just reminds me that they pushed back Starfield.
Yeah, I
As
saw
a
that.
quote-unquote flight. They didn't explain what flight was. They didn't say whether it was space flight or on-planet flight. But it was because quote-unquote flight and engine limitations that they are working on correcting.
Makes me wonder if they're using the same engine as they were using for Skyrim, Oblivion, and Morrowind.
They are not.
Oh, they're actually upgrading for once.
Yeah, well, it's roughly every 2 major game releases, because they did, Oblivion and I think it was 2 and Fallout 2 and 3 on,
Game Guru.
the previous engine they had, and then they upgraded to the newer one, which was Skyrim and, Fallout 4, which are using the same engine.
Okay.
Little tweaked. And then his current one was usually the standard for the new one. I was surprised they used the old one for 76, to be honest.
Yeah.
But apparently they developed a new engine, which is why it took so long between the releases. But beyond that point, when they started working on Starfield, they have edited the engine so much that they're referring to it as a different engine than the one that they just came up with.
Huh.
Makes you wonder what exactly they're doing, because if they're actually trying to get space to work like that, that's a whole lot of engine processing power that kind of makes sense that they would be doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Games that have paved the way a little bit. I mean, Star Citizen was kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then, Cyberpunk did a lot of things with their engine that was a little different. And they said they took a little bit of inspiration from that. But apparently they're trying not to make it as buggy this time.
That's going to be difficult because every game has bugs.
Well, as buggy as the atypical Bethesda bug.
Oh.
Which still feels like it's a...
They have a bug category all of their own.
Yeah. I believe it's called feature.
Yeah, it's not a bug, it's a feature.
It kind of feels like, it's gonna be less of a game not having those bugs.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest, Skyrim Space Program was hilarious and I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Some people complained about it, but I don't really see the big deal because it only happened with that when stuff was dead, you know?
Yeah. It was just pure fun insanity.
Yeah, it was. It still is. Even with Skyrim Together coming out, it's going to be even more fun.
I mean, like the whole, thing where they, patched it out in the updated version of Skyrim, and then the modding community's like, no, we're putting it back in.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh on like how many different mods will hang on just certain bugs that are in there occasionally.
Yeah.
All you had to do was leave it alone.
There's a lot of bugs that I wish they would have fixed. That they didn't. Like, there's the, Thieves Guild quest line. The part where you go back into the cave with the, Nightingale stuff. there's a bug that happens where occasionally you can't complete the quest because the NPC will get about halfway through the cave and then just walk out.
There's probably a mod
Due
for
to
that to
some AI
fix.
So. There's really not a mod that fixes that one. I've looked for years on that, sadly.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I just got the console
I
though.
don't think anyone knows what's really causing that one. It's probably why it hasn't been fixed.
Caged like a Hadebach. I will
That means it's gonna be one of those strange ass interactions, like there's a slight variant in the terrain somewhere
Come out,
that is causing this because of pathfinding or something.
Come and see how a true warrior fights.
I'm sure if you were, obsessed with it enough, you could spend the time to find it. But it's easier just to type in the console command and move the scene forward.
Yeah. Definitely.
Plus, if you can actually push the NPC to the, switch, then it fixes itself anyways, so.
Okay, that's useful. Oh, I know that bug!
It's only like, 13% of players have run into the bug. Which is a staggeringly high number, bug-wise, but at the same time, there's a whole lot more players.
I remember the bug where you, in Oblivion, where you grab an arrow and drop something and you could shoot like a multiple duplication of the bug, so I fired a bunch of watermelons. That was a good time. I still think Oblivion is probably the best Elder Scrolls game out there if you're looking for the graphical wise.
I enjoyed Skyrim a little bit more than Oblivion, but I think that's because I know a lot of people complained that it just didn't feel the same. But I feel like it's more accessible as Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of production quality things that I really did like about Skyrim over Oblivion. I've been playing since Daggerfall, so.
Morrowind, I would say, is a lot more features though. Like in customization.
Yeah, I mean the spell creation feature, I understand why that was taken out. That's one thing a lot of people complain about, they got taken out. But at the same time, I'm gonna be honest, balancing that is impossible.
Yeah, like, that just sounds like it's abusable. It sounds like a great idea.
It's very abusable.
Like, I'm gonna take 2 of these, 1 of that, 3 of those, and then look, suddenly, I fly with explosions and glitter!
I like the,
You got enough soul stones in, Morrowind. You could literally create any spell that you could imagine. As long as you had enough mana for it.
Explosions.
I remember destroying a bunch of, like, towns and stuff with custom spells that I made because I made them so overpowered.
You can just amp up the damage and the range, and then boom.
Yeah.
Create an infinite blight spell just about. Granted, they reined that in Oblivion, but it wasn't really. Oblivion was basically, it was either very powerful or didn't exist. There was no in between.
I remember playing Elder Scrolls having a mod where you could play chess in Morrowind and the Mages Guild.
Oh god.
It was funny until I crashed my game every time.
I do miss the bugs. I never really modded Oblivion though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've modded the heck out of just about every game I've ever touched, but
I'm looking forward to playing Oblivion on the Steam Deck if I can get it.
Second warrior transported.
Because my dream has always been to be able to play Elder Scrolls on the go.
Third warrior away.
yeah, I'm looking forward to the next iteration, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I'm really surprised we're going back to Hammerfell.
Halfway there.
Yeah, same here. Wait, isn't Hammerfell? No, Hammerfell's not the place to do. No, it's not the Red Guard. It's the orcs.
Red Guard.
It is.
It's the Red Guard. We're getting Hammerfell and High Rock, which is Red Guard and Breton.
3 left.
Huh.
Granted, I'm probably a little bit more excited about Starfield because it's the first new Bethesda title in, what, 25 years?
Yeah, that's actually in space.
Yeah, which is probably why they're going above and beyond to create it.
Only one more.
If they,
Because it is their first new title in 25 years.
yeah, and if they actually make like a co-op mod or something for it, or have co-op in it, I'll be hyped for sure.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering if they're going to add in multiplayer. I mean, granted, I would prefer the game to be good than just have co-op, you know?
Yeah.
But I would like to see co-op in one of these, you know, several thousand-hour games.
Yeah, especially Daggerfall, because I heard someone was making a multiplayer mod for it, but it got cancelled, I think.
Well, they just re-released Daggerfall onto like PC, but you still got to go through some hoops to play.
I'm talking about the Unity version, though.
It's probably not surprising. Of course, I don't think anybody was expecting them to re-release Daggerfall either, so...
Yeah.
I know I sure wasn't, but at the same time, like, I am really not keen on playing it again.
I tried playing Daggerfall and I got exiled to a town, and I'm like, well, shit, that's not good. Not good at Daggerfall compared to the others.
Just remember, you only get exiled if you get caught.
Yeah.
The old adage, it's only breaking the law if you get caught. I mean...
I fought the law and the law won.
Yeah.
Alright, hold on,
That's
legit.
more often not the case in Daggerfall, to be perfectly honest.
Gonna switch to another video.
Okay.